The topic of today's webinar is basically emerging trends and future of DevOps. Okay, so like till now we have seen in the industries the leading roles or emerging technologies that are taking into that is basically taking shape is DevOps, AI, ML, right? So all these are the booming and the trending technologies that we work of. I'm not saying that the what we already work is not important enough, but what I am trying to basically emphasize here is like how this is going to shape in terms of your career or in terms of overall opportunities that will be there in the near future, like in 2025, 26, 27. If you have gone to the reports and few of the surveys and stuffs like that, you must have found that this particular technology, right? What we say basically, uh, the DevOps has been like a boom nowadays. Okay, so it is one of the most emerging tech which is mostly asked and mostly asked by most of the organizations nowadays. Okay, so the agenda and objective behind this is to understand the evolution of DevOps, what is the current status and some of the challenges, because whatever we do is associated with some benefits and challenges with it. And we will also learn like how it gets gel up with other technologies or other emerging technologies. Means what I'm trying to say here is it's like now a day become an inevitable part of our daily life. And also we will be discussing few of the future directions and what and all we can carry forward as an innovative part of this if somebody is trying to pursue some research oriented POCs, or anyone who is currently working also may also have hands-on kind of thing on this. And lastly, we will be having one interactive question answer session where you can have any clarity about your doubts and things like that. So what is basically DevOps? Many times it happens that people think it's just tool or technology. As I also mentioned it few often as in technology. It's but obvious that it's a technology. But the thing is, it's basically a culture, a cycle. That is what a set of practices we can say, which bridges the gap basically between your development and the operational teams. Okay, so those who are present right now in the webinar and who are totally naive, like freshers kind of people, or who are college oriented student, they might get a bit of an understanding, like because they are not experienced, right? So for them it's a new thing. But what I can suggest is, if they feel they are like what I'm trying to say is they are free to ask any question at the end of the presentation. Okay, don't hesitate to ask like what is the flow or roadmap, anything. And those who are experienced, for them I would like to say that if they want to transition themselves from let's say if somebody is working in telco, somebody is in networking, somebody is in pure development background, for them also this plays a very pivotal role. Okay, so it's basically something, a culture, a set of practice which will be always present wherever in every sphere of your domains you are working on. So let's say you want to transition, or even if you are trying to learn from scratch, it's an pure value addition because it's emerging in nature. Okay, so that is what you can keep into mind, and we will be going slowly that how basically you can adopt this, or what will be the scope of this. So whenever something happens related to infrastructure or practices, okay, there this DevOps comes into picture. So it's basically bridging the gap between your development and operational teams. Also, whenever we say ruthless automation, right, there also DevOps comes into picture because both the teams collaborate. They focus on one thing, that is continuous improvement. And continuous improvement is something which is very important when it comes to delivering your application to the product team, or let's say anybody. out whenever you are trying to solve something as a client oriented problem. Okay, so once you adopt DevOps, it enables a faster, reliable, and very reliable, trustable delivery you do, because there is a continuous feedback being associated when your product is into a DevOps culture. If it is into an agile model, that was totally different, because before this, when DevOps was not so evolved, okay, at that time we used to we used to follow the agile practices, right? So DevOps is nothing we can say as if even if it is a culture, it's an extension to your agile cycle. So it promotes what, since we get an continuous feedback or looping, so that is what it makes the entire product delivery process seamless, faster, reliable, and very easy for everybody to deliver and satisfy the client needs. Then how the evolution came into picture of DevOps in early 2000s, whenever whosoever has worked also, they might also feel the same. At that time, agile was the main cycle we used to follow. Till now, many of the projects go with agile only, but continuous interact integration with continuous delivery or deployment or development, what we say, CI/CD, that got emerged after 2000s, means now it's trending in the sense, if you have CI/CD enabled in your software lifecycle process, what we say, it means you are going into the right track. That means your product is also going to evolve within continuous feedback and loopback strategies. Okay. Then when it came to 2010s, we started to adopt this very rigorously. Okay. So at that time, what happened, cloud also came into picture. Okay. Cloud means many service providers like AWS, Azure, right, or GCP. Nowadays you must have heard all these three as major public cloud service providers, although there are more than 1000 cloud providers that are available, but still if we see, for the major ones are these three, right? So when we say cloud computing, there is a very marginal difference. Cloud computing, cloud service providers basically takes and to custody the cloud computing services and its entire feature. But when it comes to DevOps, in order to solve, or in order to promote that culture, these DevOps tools are used. For example, I'll take a live example here. Today you want to stand up, or you want to build your own infrastructure within 50 minutes. You don't have time for 15 days or 20 days to build the entire infrastructure. So what we do is we make use of DevOps tool, which is nothing but we say one format, infrastructure as in code. Okay. So using infrastructure as in code, and for that we need a DevOps tool that is very booming, and you must have heard about it also, Terraform, or let's say cloud formation, right? So in couple of minutes, let's say you have an idea, you can you can build the entire infrastructure just in 20 minutes. That much power a DevOps tool holds when it comes to incorporating or standardizing your infrastructure from DevOps point of view to cloud. Okay, so using Terraform, you will run few scripts, you will learn how to write those scripts, you will build up the infrastructure, and that's it. It's the one time effort which you have reduced, like the way I have told or made you seen in the previous slide, right? Faster and reliable, right? It's secure also. So let's say you want to build your infrastructure with service provider, let's say AWS. So what you need to do is you just have to take into account the Terraform as in one of the organization of your AWS. You need to map both, and that's it. And once you write your script, you have to keep certain standards into your mind, and the blueprint, once you get it according to your requirement, you build it, and that's it, and it's done. And with four commands, your entire infrastructure will come up and running. You need not have to wait for 15 days or 20 days like that, right? So there it comes into picture. So that is what also few of the ruthless automation which you carry out within 20 minutes, which you used to take 20 days before. right? So that is why every organization nowadays is trying to shift their drift towards the automation. Observability here refers to basically the monitoring aspects of your applications with some AI driven insights. Means when it comes to DevOps now, AI is taking the market or capturing it, right? Similarly, machine learning. So you can also gel up AI with DevOps also. So that we say as AI ops. So if in future you want and if you learn DevOps as an emerging tool, it will be a value addition, because if even if you drift yourself towards the AI field, there also cloud and DevOps will be inseparable. And even if you shift yourself towards the machine learning pathway, then also your DevOps and cloud is inseparable. Okay, so that is what I am trying to capture and tell you right now. So if we see the current state of DevOps, widely you must have seen, and everywhere you see, even if it is surfing your LinkedIn or whatever you wherever you see, it's the most widely adopted tool, basically culture DevOps in across all your industries and enterprises. When it comes to deployment processes, okay, infrastructure as in code, as I discussed, and integration with your CI/CD pipelines, there also this only comes into picture. And as the time it slowly evolves, gets evolves, right? So there the maturity comes into picture, which is measured basically by the ruthless automation that we provide, because everything now needs automation. Nobody prefers for your manual intervention. Then coming to monitoring part, let's say you are having an application that is continuously running. Okay. Earlier days, what used to happen, people used to go and check out the logs, and then after searching the logs, they used to get, okay, this is the timestamp and this is what might have happened. But nowadays, after adoption of DevOps, those old school patterns have already gone. Okay. So what now happens is, let's say open source tools are available for DevOps. Even if you want an enterprise edition tools, lot many tools are available. For example, I will take Prometheus. Okay, it's an open source tool. It's an quite mature tool also. So once we have Prometheus with us, what we can do is all your applications are having certain metrics, be it memory, be it your CPU, right? Be it anything. All these metrics will be basically responsible for your application, right? How it is getting hosted. So Prometheus' responsibility will be to to fetch out those metrics, incorporate it onto your application, and at the end, just a customizable dashboard which you will be preparing using Grafana. Once you integrate this to all entire flow, that one time effort has been done, and what you just have to do is just visit like frequently, like after 1 hour, just visit and check your Grafana dashboard. That's it. No manual intervention, no log checking, nothing is required. One dashboard which will, suffice your all the needs, whether it is in terms of your CPU usage, whether it is in terms of your memory usage, whether it is in terms of your logging mechanisms, all can be captured in one single board using Grafana. So that much power a monitoring tool of DevOps have. And if you learn as part of your, upskilling pattern, I think that will be an very good value addition, not only in terms of getting thing. Even if you land somewhere, even if you try to learn automation, irrespective of the fact which domain you are in right now, it will always be an value addition for you. That much is the current state of DevOps right now. And obviously once you do that, you need to have in collaboration both with your dev team, QA team, ops team, production team. Okay, so that is how it works. So current state of DevOps, say like that. We have few key pillars into this. Okay. First is continuous integration and deployment, as we have seen CI/CD. So you must have heard, I mean, those who have already worked or know about DevOps, pipelines, right? So pipelines can be built again on to the requirement of the client. Let's say if it is Jenkins, you must have to, learn Groovy with Bash in order to prepare in Jenkins. So what a Jenkins does, it is a basically CI/CD pipeline starting from your development till deployment. In every phase, it will take care of your process flow. Like let's say you are deploying an application. As soon as a developer commits a code, just one single trigger will be required, and that's it. The phases which you have written in the background as part of your script will take the responsibility of the entire flow. So that is how an automation begins, right? So that is a key pillar, one of the key pillar you can say when it comes to CI/CD, including pipelines. Okay. Then comes the infrastructure as in code. This I won't touch it because just now I mentioned that IAC is nothing but infrastructure as in code, in the sense one code you can build up the entire infrastructure within minutes and ruthless automation process. Okay. Monitoring and observability, yes, of course, everything needs monitoring, because once your application is released into production, it should be always up and running. You cannot compromise with its security. You cannot compromise with the quality you have delivered. It might needs a continuous deployment as well if there is some glitch in your existing application, which depends on the different type of environments which you hold off. So yes, we need and continuous monitoring and observability. It is a third and most important key pillar of DevOps. Coming into automation and orchestration, earlier it used to happen that you build one application and you deploy it over one of the server. Okay. But now that is not the case. Now what happens is you basically containerize your application and host it over an cloud platform. So you there is nothing which we call as pure server. Everything is virtualized and also orchestrated. So now once you have one application, it might have chance that it might be the case that you might have to handle 200 applications at the same time. So to manage those services, okay, we need some orchestration process. So orchestration is basically managing your services somehow, right? So to manage those 200 containers at the same time, you will be needing tools for, again, DevOps tool for orchestration. So Kubernetes is a great example. Docker and Kubernetes are the most prime containerization tools, okay, which are used as part of your orchestration for managing services and tools like that. And obviously, it's a culture based thing. So collaboration will always go hand in hand. So dev will have to, we have to basically mitigate the gap between the dev team and prod team, or QA team, or the operational teams, or operational team with the dev team. So that is how it works. So those are the key pillars. So first trend which I will try to cover here is AI and ML and DevOps. So which we call basically as AI ops. Okay. So what happens here is uh, AI ops like DevOps. Okay. So mitigate the gap between the AI and ops. So to bridge the gap between both. So what actually AI does? AI enables you to do some kind of predictive analysis and anomaly detection kind of thing. So obviously there you might be needing some AI based algorithms, or let's say some of the models like that, right? Or the algorithms which you have designed in corporation to your applications. Now, the question which will come into your mind is how DevOps will come into picture here. Okay, the thing which you have designed is already inclined with your application, right? So now using the DevOps tool which you have already covered will come into picture here also, because ultimately the application which you have built using AI will be deployed on cloud. You won't be deploy it won't get deployed over the normal server, right? So eventually you will have to get into hands on, or you have to have an it's a must basically to get some of the DevOps idea, because ultimately you will be building the pipeline, then pushing it over to the infrastructure. So for that reason, AI ops is second trending thing in cooperation with DevOps. Okay. It helps identify the bottlenecks and performance issues automatically. Once you adapt it, means whatever bottleneck and performance issues were existing, that also you can capture. If you have something new which got arise in middle of your application development process, that also you will get to capture here. Let's say you got any disaster all of a sudden. Let's say you developed some code and you released it in some kind of environment, and then it got what it got crashed in the middle. Now, how these kinds of incidences will be captured? Because let's say you put it over server, you will have to go manually check the logs, and then you are going to get something. But if you have something which is existing, and you have a dashboard or a GUI with you, right, graphical user interface, you just have to go and have a look where exactly you have got that code crash. So you can go into that particular sphere, you can change your tweak your code, you can modify your things, and you can pre-release it. So it's continuous process, there is no breakage or touch base with your existing things or stuffs like that. So this is also very important when it comes to AI process, because it is not possible to, you know, create your flow, queue flow. Let's say you are working with any queue flow, you cannot restart it again from scratch. So then there and then also this things comes into picture. So if you see Splunk, New Relic, Dynatrace, all these are few of the tools. So at last, what I'm trying to say is this is nothing but learning of tools which gels well with AI, machine learning, development, operationals. Okay, so like this is very good, emerging technology we can say in order to get things done. GitOps and IAC evolution. GitOps here means once you have a declarative configuration. As I also one more thing I forgot to tell you in the beginning. Whenever we try to learn DevOps, it's mostly configuration based. Hardly you will find that this role and responsibility will include any pure coding or high level programming language, coding. It's not that you don't require at all. It's just that you will might require understanding. If you know, it's a very point for you. But let's say if somebody is get trying to transition themselves and they don't have an idea, then that is also not an case, because eventually after you know the flow, okay, that is only enough, because writing and configuration file is the main thing when it comes to DevOps part. If you know that what exactly is the flow of your application end to end, then you can just prepare few of your YAML files, and configuration file we write using YAML. It is yet another markup language, which is what a configuration file always consists of, mostly consist of. Okay, so once you learn that, you will be easily able to write those things using any configuration file, basically using YAML. Okay, so how that basically chills with Git and what is the IAC process. Okay, so whenever you do Git commits, there is a provision there in webhook. Okay, so the pipeline will automatically fetch, which I mentioned just now, right? Jenkins pipeline kind of thing. So that will automatically fetch your deployment, and it will carry forwarded with the stages that you have done as part of your one time effort while preparing your Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so that is what automated deployment here refers to. So tools used to do so is Argo CD, Flux CD, Bamboo, Jenkins. Okay, and coming to infrastructure as in code means to provision your infrastructure. Let's say you want to get an end-to-end designing of your resources in Azure. Okay, so you can make use of Terraform. You will take provider of Azure. You just have to write the scripts in that format and syntax. That's it. Once you run Terraform, plan init, plan and apply, and your entire infrastructure that used to take 20 to 30 days of time will be up and running in 30 to 20 minutes. So that much power it holds, and it will be done. When it comes to production rollbacks, version controlling, and auditing, there also this somehow helps you out. So GitOps and IIC evolution is the second trending part of the emerging process of DevOps. And it's obvious wherever you go, security will always be the most concerning part of your application development or product development or consultancy, whatever you are into the field. It is in everywhere, every facet this of or the stage, it will be there with you. So there is one part which we call as DevOps. There is one part which we call as DevSecOps. So there is a very minute and marginal difference, but still it is used interchangeably, because when it comes to DevSecOps, the first priority is we have to learn few of the security tools also, wherein the most priority is being given to the security aspect. So there what we have to do is, in DevOps we first write, and then at the end when we are trying to release, we take security into picture. But when it comes to DevSecOps, both goes hand to hand. So let's say I build one container out of the application. Now, it is the responsibility of the DevSecOps engineer to make it secure as well. Okay. So, what it has to be done? It has to be wrapped inside a wrapper. So we can make use of service mesh concept. There few of the security concepts also comes into picture. Once that is done, you will incorporate that into your pipeline. Now, pipeline cannot go directly. There has to be some security measures also, because intrusions might happen when it goes from one stage to another stage. So, there you need to incorporate some of the scanning tools, vulnerability scanning tools, or compliance checks in middle, so that if there is intrusion happening, it can stop that intrusion and your process flow is totally secure. There is no way around that any single threat is there onto your pipeline. So this DevSecOps part is also same, almost same, but it goes hand in hand. That means it goes parallelly whenever we do the application development. So shift left approach is basically a kind of approach which you might have came across, or might, whenever you will be doing, might come across. So to detect those security issues, shift left approach basically comes into picture. So tools like Sync, Aqua, Trivi, these all are used in order to make your entire pipeline secured end to end. So that is what 10.3. Okay. When it comes to IoT and edge, there also DevOps with as an emerging tool comes into picture. IoT and Edge are the most compatible tools for DevOps lifecycle, or DevOps to manage for, because managing your deployments across distributed edge devices, because edge is something which is always deal with which always basically deals with your distributed systems only. And when it comes to distributed system, their edge locations come into picture. Everybody mostly here have heard about NVIDIA's GPU. Okay. So that is also somehow dealing nowadays with IoT and edge. Okay. Sensors, applications, hardware oriented. So there also infrastructure, some or the other way, is an underlying principle. Okay. So whenever it is there, it means deployments will happen. So there are certain challenges, as it is distributed system in nature, connectivity issues, frequent updates, scaling. Okay, all these are the challenges which are always available into the edge and the IoT part of deployments or applications. So at that time, when it comes to DevOps, first thing is it will help to create an very good underlying infrastructure for it, a base for your applications on which you can host. Second, containerization of the applications will also get easy, because once it is containerized means you will be able to scale your applications well, because you will have a few of the orchestrator tools which automatically manages the services or tools like Kubernetes and Docker. Okay. And also, when it comes to autonomous systems or IoT ecosystems, at that time when it comes to criticality, that criticality also gets removed if we adopt the DevOps or as the most emerging tool of it. Okay. There is also one more trend which we call as no ops and serverless operations. If you learn DevOps, it will also help you to contribute, or somebody who is trying to go into this field. Okay, in the way it will fully automate all your operational tasks. Second, even if you are having any server dependent computations or something of that sort, that entire infrastructure management will go serverless, and it will be very easy for you to manage the services, as it will be hosted onto cloud. Basically, it will allow your team to focus solely on to whatever they are doing. They need not have to worry about the infrastructure, its connectivity, or anything. They just has to focus only and only solely onto the coding and the business logic which they have to depend on. So they need not have to worry how I will get the infrastructure. They need not have to worry what the configuration is. They need not have to worry how to get the deployment done. They need not have to worry for the 24/7 production support. Your development team will only and only focus on writing and quality code and delivering it to the next set of team to whom they will, they want to give, like, let's say, QA. So that's it. Their development team role is done and dusted. Now the role and responsibility comes of the DevOps or NoOps or operational engineer, right? He or she will take the responsibility of all the things which you have covered right now. Infrastructure dependency on to the DevOps engineer. Maintaining the network is on DevOps engineer. Maintaining the servers, checking the monitoring aspects will be onto the DevOps engineer. So that is how the role and responsibility gets divided, and there is no pressure onto the segregated teams like QA or Dev in order to do the or manage these kind of activities. For example, Azure Functions, AWS Lambda, Google Cloud Run. So yeah, this is how also it works, and this will basically get your stuffs done. When it comes to platform engineering and internal developer platforms, okay, there also the expansion of this DevOps course or the emerging tech goes into picture. Okay, your platform teams have the get the ability. Basically, you get the ability once you have the prior knowledge of DevOps to create self-service infrastructure for developers. You will be the architect. You will be the responsible holder of creating that environment or infrastructure, and rest who are part of your team will only be responsible for the designated roles what they have got from. Let developer only will be developer, and you being a platform engineer will be responsible for designing that from end to end. Okay, you will be also responsible for improving and standardizing the environment, that is basically your platform or the infrastructure. You need not The developer need not have to be dependent on this thing. You will provide the environment and platform to the developer will just focus on the business logic, like the way we have seen in trend 5. Okay, so as means as fastly as we adopt and learn this DevOps skill, that much mature we will get, and that in turn will help you become more productive, because adoption is the key. So once we adopt it, means we will get habitual, and we will get mature also into the learning process of it. So if we see, these are few of the examples. So being a platform engineer also, it will somehow come into picture and will help you. And at the end, there is also convergence of DevOps and MLOps. Okay, I will just take a live example here. I worked in one of the project, which was totally end to end, was an platform, ML based platform. Okay, and all its things like text to image conversion, image to text conversion, like the way Chat GPT works, or the models which work behind the scene. For example, LLM models. You must have heard about these terms who are into this field and who have joined the webinar. They must be understanding what I'm trying to say here. Okay. So these LLM models or transformer models are the models which somehow will be pulled from somewhere, will be worked on somewhere, and need to deploy on somewhere. So which means the application will be working on top of these LLM models, and eventually they needs to be deployed somewhere, right? So the data scientists or the AI engineers or the ML engineers who are working, they need not have to worry about the deployment process. They just have to worry about the designing and the fluctuations of their learning models or the transformer models or the core business logic which they are trying to create at the moment. It will be the responsibility of the MLOps engineer, which in turn that MLOps engineer which who will be responsible for the handling of the infrastructure will basically has to have the idea about DevOps, machine learning models, okay, LLM models, how to refine them, how to design the pipeline for deployment of the models. All these things will be there. So, model reproducibility, versioning, deployment, the MLOps engineer will be basically responsible for that. So, this is also one of the most emerging and trending, role which is going on nowadays into the industry. So if somebody is having prior experience of 6 to 7 years into DevOps and with AI and MLOps, it's a very good combination, and they might go with it. These are few of the real world use cases wherein whatever trends from 1 to 6 we have discussed are responsible in somehow in the background. For example, Netflix, okay, whenever the load increases, so scaling responsibilities, continuous delivery pipelines, and designing chaos engineering, all this comes as part of your AI ops, ML ops, DevOps, and as part of your emerging trend. Spotify, Amazon, okay, and tools, all these tools, whatever, and the real life examples you are saying, some how it is dependent on DevOps and machine learning, AI. Okay, so this is how it is, and this will be in next 2025, 26, 27, couple of 10 years minimum. You if you learn this and gain this skill, you will survive for 10 years at the max, and more than that also. Evolution is continuous process, right? We cannot say that it will get stagnant by then, because till now already from 2000s it has started. So next 10 years you can predict, and the market is going like this, so it is very good. There are certain challenges and opportunities which I will take into consideration. Okay, so challenges is first thing, tool sprawling, because there are ample number of tools, and it's all about tools also, because the number of tools you learn, the number of requirements get satisfied, and the number of fitments you need to check. Okay, so once you get number of tools means there is complexity involved in that. So what this is a bit of challenging thing which we face sometime being an DevOps engineer. Okay, cultural resistance, because everybody is not ready to adapt it in a faster way. In the sense, there are many industry or company who are working into legacy, or they might not be software oriented, right? So for them, transitioning their drifter mindset from agile to DevOps is an challenge for them. To make them understand, or to make them think in that on those grounds is a big challenge, because they are resistant, like they won't adapt it so fastly, because for that they need many things in the background. So that is also one of the challenge. Security is one of the challenge which is always be there, compliance and security, because integrations are continuous, development is continuous, so feedbacks are also continuous. So if I randomly go and try to incorporate something means there is there then opportunities is obviously upskilling, automation, all your AI and ML ops, whatever trend 1 to 5 we discussed will be your open gate opportunity for you to delve and start learning this thing. Okay. Okay, so we are at the end only. This is few of the future predictions which according to the few of the surveys and my understanding. So there is rise of autonomous operations and AI based pipelines. So 2025 till next 10 years you can predict that this will be there. More integrations with sustainability and cost optimization. Yes, everybody is trying to focus on cost optimization. So if you delve and adapt the DevOps life cycle, there are lot many tools which are existing and open source. So obvious that if you adopt this, means there will be cost optimization. Not only in this term, let's say you are trying to buy one server and trying to deploy something on it, it is more costly, right? So rather, if you go and pay as you go model, what we say as subscription models, like right, for cloud AWS, so that will be obviously making the thing cost optimized, right? Then DevOps evolving into platform engineering and MLOps, we have already discussed. And DevX, which means enhanced focus on your development experience. If you are trying to, get your wave into development experience, you need not have to focus on this. You can just focus on writing in pure and transparent code, and more business logic you can focus on. You need not have to worry, because nowadays DevOps is there. And somebody who is not interested in writing codes, they don't want to get into stuff, or they have already done this part and they want to upskill or try to explore something new, they can obviously adopt this, because it has future next 10 years, as I mentioned. So key takeaways which you can see on the screen is, it will always be evolving with AI and automation. Okay. Security, culture, and continuous learning will remain key pillars forever. Your future lies in smarter, autonomous, and sustainable system, which means yes, as it's emerging, right, and as our topic says, right, it will always be emerging and it will be continuously evolving. So even if you start learning now, next 10 20 years, you need not have to worry, it will be there and it will get more mature and evolve. Okay. And I would like to say that I think it's a very good tech. And if we embrace this change, and it will help to create more innovative and long term success. So yeah, these are few of the key takeaways. And as our promotion happened, so there this was being floated continuously. So how your growth and future outlook looks like, if we have done few of the things. So as per LinkedIn 2025, DevOps engineer ranks among the top 10 most in demand tech roles. Okay. And by 2026, most of the enterprises or organization, even 90% more enterprises will depend on DevOps. So that's why I said, if you upskill yourself, it will be a very good opportunity, and it will bring basically faster innovation and more innovation on your table. Okay, as per IDC also, the same is being suggested. And market is expecting to exceed by dollar 30 billion. Okay, till the time it is 2028, and more than 20% in CAGR. So that is how it looks like, and I think it's a very promising role. So what I would like to suggest at the end, that yes, if we learn it as not only you know in terms of getting into things like that, if we want to upskill, if we want to learn by ourselves, even if we are new to this, we need to we should basically adapt it and start learning it, because you can see how much scope and visibility it has in future. Okay, so I think that's it from my end. We are open for question and answer or discussion. And if you have any questions, we are like good to go. It's an open forum for me right now.
It's a great sessions. I just come back and really appreciate, I'm sure. So, couple of links we have shared. One is definitely YouTube channel, guys. If you have already subscribed, then okay. Otherwise, you subscribe so that you'll get a lot of free recordings from our site. Even you can share with your friends and peers. And another link is feedback. So again, we'd request you to give your feedback, so that your feedback is our prize. and it motivates our next couple of more sessions regarding these, maybe cloud or some other AI that we're planning for. If you have any further questions for Anushya, please feel free to raise your hand, and otherwise we can.
Hi. My name is Junaid. Actually, yeah. So, uh, I just actually switched my role as a cloud engineer as a small company.
Mm-hmm.
So how
Mm-hmm.
actually I fit into the DevOps role because it's not actually big kind of infrastructure.
Okay.
So yeah. So can you tell me? Should I
Mm-hmm.
actually go for the DevOps kind of thing? It's up my skill, or because a small company, it's not got the big
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so it's actually, if I actually go into the DevOps kind of skill, so it will
Correct.
benefit to actually maintain my infrastructure as a cloud engineer, or actually I'm actually working on the AWS.
Yeah, definitely. So, what I would like to say is, like, since you already have an cloud experience, it's one of the provider AWS, right? So, when it comes to, incorporating DevOps with cloud, right? So, it's
Mhm.
a very good thing, even if it is small organization or big organization, it doesn't matter. What
Okay.
matters is, let's say, you are a engineer, right? So, you know how the AWS resources work. Now that you learn the DevOps tool means you will be understanding the end-to-end flow. For example, let's say you must be having a development team, right? They will
Mhm.
come up with an idea that, okay, Junaid, right? If I'm not wrong,
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
eh, yeah, Junaid, you need to create a pipeline wherein if I commit a code single time, it will create the entire pipeline and it will deploy my code from all the stages starting from development till production, right? Now, you being a DevOps engineer, you will have to think, you have to design the environment or the, you have to basically strategize the pipeline in a way that with his single click, his single commit should reach all the, environments in a similar format till production, right? So it is
Okay.
not your developer's responsibility, it is it will be your responsibility. Now that you know that your AWS must be having four environments right now, right? I'm assuming,
Mhm.
let's say
Mhm.
development, QA, staging and production, right?
Yeah.
So now it will be your responsibility to design a pipeline using Jenkins, which is a DevOps tool. Let's say Jenkins is a requirement tool. Okay.
Yeah.
Jenkins, okay, you build a pipeline using Groovy and Jenkins and you incorporated that pipeline in AWS. Now, let's say you don't know DevOps, right? How will you
Mhm.
incorporate or how will you build? You won't be
Mhm.
able to do it, right? So that
Mhm.
developer's requirement didn't got fulfilled. Similarly, this is one of the example. In every stage of your
Mhm.
development process, there is the requirement of DevOps. So cloud, it's a very good thing. If you now learn about DevOps, right, it will be a
Mhm.
value addition. It will be very good because if you, I don't know, I haven't mentioned it. My personal experience is I'm having total 9+ years of experience only as an DevOps
Mhm.
specialist. Okay,
Okay.
so my role and responsibility is also like this. I know three providers, but that doesn't matter. What
Okay.
matters is how your application is getting designed and how using DevOps tool you are able to, deploy it over the
Mhm.
respective cloud provider or let's say on-prem provider, even if you have something of that sort. So I think I am able to answer your question,
Yeah.
but yeah, that is how it works basically.
Yeah. Next question is, I
Mm.
actually heard
Mm-hmm.
many of the people to
Mm-hmm.
maintain or actually build the CI/CD pipeline is too complex. Is that true? True.
No, if you have an understanding and if you know how to maintain it in the sense, you know that okay, this is there, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
you have also incorporated it with some observability tool, like what we say as monitoring tool, right? Pipeline with
Mm-hmm.
your monitoring tool. You need not have to do anything. It's just
Okay.
wait and watch. You will just able to see all your bugs into your dashboard. You are getting
Okay.
what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. So
Yeah. Yeah.
once
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
your loop there, you
Hmm.
will need not have to go manually to the stage and console, right? You will get an
Mm-hmm.
automatic response over your dashboard. You just have to go to that particular stage wherever you are thinking has an
Mm-hmm.
issue, and you can fix it. So your maintenance is done. That much only you have to do. So there is no yeah, it's there. Everything is complex if you don't know how to handle it. But once you have done it, once you have thought of like this can be the way, it is
Mm-hmm.
not that complex to manage. You can easily manage it. I don't think, I mean, it's
Okay.
that complex. But the only thing is, it has to be very robust. The pipeline which you have designed has to be very robust. Otherwise, means keeping into mind that what could be the probable, even the edge case is what we say, right? The
Mm-hmm.
corner cases you will have to also keep in mind while designing that pipeline. Okay, once you have done it pre-handedly, you need
Mm-hmm.
not have to worry about the later stages. It is not that complex to maintain.
Okay. If I
Yeah.
join this course, actually,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know actually when you actually start this course. How long it will take to complete the whole course?
Yeah, so I'll take these questions, Junaid. So
Okay.
Yeah.
we are going to start the brand new courses of this, I mean, DevOps new batch. So I think
Okay.
I will connect you with Bishmita, and she will help you on this, the entire course durations, the timeline, etc. And
Okay.
if you have any
Okay.
further
Fine.
queries, I will connect you and along with Anushua for further clarities. Okay. So
Okay.
Sure.
that
Thank you. Yeah.
no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your
All right,
answer. Yeah.
no problem. Thank you. I think we are all okay. If anybody does have any questions, again, let us know. And otherwise, we'll wrap it up and we'll upload the same recording on our YouTube channel so that if you miss some of the points, so that you can further refer to those, the entire recordings.
Yeah.
Bismillah will be your single point of contact. Yeah, Junaid,
You
sorry.
can share the link of the YouTube channel. So yeah, it will be yeah.
Yeah, I've shared in the chat. I have shared two links.
Okay.
Yeah, one is first one YouTube, that is our whole channel, and second one is the feedback form. I mean feedback review.
Okay.
First channel is related to YouTube. Okay, you can go.
Thank you, Davidjit. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All
Yeah.
right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.